All of the A600 2V cells are out, except for one. In what we say here on the EV blog, don't turn it on, take it apart. So I have always wanted to see what we actually have inside one of these guys, but of course you don't want to take apart a good working battery because it's not going to go back together. So I've saved the cleanest one, which actually has the highest short circuit current as well. This guy pushes more than 300 amps, which is like 15% of its rated short circuit current. It's very bad. This is not a good cell, but it has the smallest plate growth of all, and it should look the best inside. I suspect that the really bad ones, they're just going to be kind of a mess on the inside. So my plan, since they seem to have sort of press fit these terminals on top of this top cover, is to just saw off the terminals and then try to maybe cut or break off this top cover to see what's inside. And for this I haven't been following along. This is an A600 cell, 600 amp hours, 2V lead acid from 2010. Filming in 2026. This is a 16-year-old cell, and it's pretty much done for. So here we go. Let's see what's inside. So this cell actually does have some kind of current capacity. Like this bar is getting significantly warm, and if we take a current clamp on it, that's more than 300 amps, because that's all that this guy can handle. So it has a bit of a kick, and this piece of steel is now nice and comfortably warm to hold. So we have picked a bit of a spicy one to take apart, but I'm not too concerned. Let's just start chopping into it, I guess. Yep. So on the inside of the terminal we seem to have a brass insert surrounded by lead, I'm guessing. It was very soft until we got to the middle part, and hopefully we are not dropping a bunch of debris in this and causing it to internally short out. No, 2.03 volts, so this guy is actually fully charged. The terminals both seem to be the same. Some brass insert in the middle and a lead on the outside. So you can see that the terminals have a well which is not hermetically sealed. So that's just, I guess there's a gap there to the inside of the cell, and the actual sealing is made with these two O-rings around the terminals, which seal against this surface here. So that means that once these terminals rise up, you actually don't have the gas tightness anymore, and the cell is free to vent out into the atmosphere. Now these do not gas much at all, even when they are open to the atmosphere, but they will of course start losing electrolyte at some point. And the official end-of-life spec is that when you see the first O-ring, the cell is gone, and you can see the positive plate growth. This is the single best cell I have. We are like so far out of space already, and they obviously work quite well past their specification, but at some point you are going to run out of space when the plates grow, which causes the cell to just sort of, it still tries to expand, but it sort of cracks apart inside and finally shorts out, just as the plates grow over time. like it's a normal thing for lead acids. As they age, the positive plate ever so slightly grows bigger and bigger. So when they were new, these terminals would just flush against the edge like that, so they've risen a good 3 centimeters or so. Anyway, let's start working on the top cover. I'm guessing this is either welded or glued on there. It should just lift out since we have the terminals out. Pretty weak. Okay, we have movements. Let's make sure we haven't shorted the cell out. Again, this might get energetic if something goes really wrong. Nope, we're still fine. I just want to be prepared if I need to just shuffle this thing outside all of a sudden. Oh, we are getting there. Oh man. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. That's something I've never seen before. So we have some kind of plastic grid on top of the actual gelled electrolyte underneath. Man, I want to get this out of the way so we can take a look. So there is going to be some sulfuric acid in here. Hopefully my gloves are good enough. So that is the actual inside of a cell, and there's actually a ton of space left to grow in there. That is a ton of growth space left. Wow. So that's... oh, we are definitely having some metal powder down by the plates. Oh, that's so cool. So that's the positive, you can see, because it's black, and that's the negative. You can really see the difference between positive and negative plate growth. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's actually no negative plate growth, but the negative plate sort of seems to be pulled along upwards with the positive plate as it grows. You can see how there's been more growth along the outsides because this bus bar has been bent, whereas the bus bar on the negative side is not. Oh, that is so cool. I have been waiting so long to see this. That is so cool. I'm kind of afraid to touch that stuff. Since this is a charged cell, that's going to be fairly high. Probably don't want to use a metal thing for that. That's going to be fairly high concentration sulfuric acid in the gelled electrolyte. And that is crumbling. It's very dry. How would I describe this consistency? It's like really brittle old silicone. You know, you've seen it in a bad hotel bathroom, just that silicone around the base of a toilet or something that just sort of crumbles when you look at it wrong. That's what this feels like. And this is surprisingly dry. I would kind of expect this to not be supposed to like be chunking up on top of the cells, on top of the plates rather. Oh, we can see the separators down in there. I bet those brownish things are the separators. This is not what I was expecting to see at all. I'm not sure what's what either. Like you have a negative bus bar connecting to something, but it's also like basically touching Oh, is that the fail? I think that's the failure mode. You can see we have, these are obviously the positive plates. You can see the black one's always the positive, and they are connected to the positive terminal here. So these guys that we see on the top, they are the actual positive plates. And look at what's happening by the negative bus bar. They're practically touching. Just a little bit more plate growth, and this is going to short out right there. So that's what's killing these cells. I have had several which have just sort of turned into a heater. They would get warm and discharge themselves and be completely inert. And that has to be where that's happening, because the positive plates are growing, and I bet the negative plates are just like way in there. Like way. I'm not wearing any safety gear, so I'm going to be kind of careful. But yeah, you're not going to be able to see it very well, but I can feel the negative plate there. So that's going in between there, and as the positive plates grow, they grow up into the negative bus bar. That is so cool. That's so cool. I had no idea. I thought these were failing because they ran out of mechanical space, and this positive bus bar was just crunching up against the case, causing the positive plates to just sort of deform over time and finally short out. But that is not the case. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm just geeking out so hard right now. Can barely focus on the camera. Yeah, I can feel the negative plate all the way down there, and this is the positive plate. So we have, what's that, like a centimetre of growth down by the plates, and for some reason significantly more up by the terminal. I'm not sure how that comes together, and we have significantly more growth around the outside of the cell for some reason. Maybe that's just because there's been a connecting wire here, which goes to a negative terminal, which pushes this down. But it takes a lot of force to cause this bend in a thick lead bus bar like this. So there has to be more plate growth on the outside of a cell than there is on the inside. And whether there's just less friction because there's going to be more pressure in the middle, so that like the growth has more space to just move around the outside. And the negative bus bar is completely flat. Yeah, there hasn't been any plate growth on the negative side. So the negative terminal is just getting pulled along upwards with the positive plate growth. With the negative side is not actually growing, because that's where we would see some similar deformation and movement of the bus bar. That is so cool. Yeah, you can see the separators and everything. Man, that's so awesome. Now, I'm not sure how, like, these are supposed to be like cylindrical cells. There's some magic with how they actually produce the plates. I thought these were going to be like long fingers which go down rather than plates, but we definitely see plates. These are definitely fat, spongy lead plates. They're very, very soft, basically falling apart at poke them with almost no force. This electrolyte. Surely this electrolyte has been sort of squeezed up. Like, it looks as if it's just been squeezed out of a cell as the positive plates have grown. That's so cool. That is so cool. So cool. So cool. And we also have, I'm not sure, oh, this is probably to contain these electrolyte chunks so they don't actually come up too far. And then we have the safety vent there. So this is going to be an overpressure vent, nothing fancy. If there's pressure buildup in the cell, it's just going to pop. It looks to be glued in. Six op ZS. What do these markings say? ABS. Other. Oh, and we've got the date code. Yeah, 2010. Second quarter, I guess. Oh, that's so cool. I'm not burning my fingers up. That is so cool. So that's the inside of one of these cells, I guess. I don't want to dig more into this. I don't want to take a side up. It's going to make too big of a mess. I still need to recycle this properly, so I'm just going to tape on the top again and bring this out with the others. But there you go. That's... oh, and this is what one of these cells looks after serious abuse. Very serious abuse.